Good morning and welcome to Tutorial Tuesday. Today we are going to make a little bracelet for, again, my daughter. Friday is picture day, so I want to make her a little bracelet to go with her outfit. I'm not quite sure what she's wearing yet, but I have in my head that I want her to wear burgundy and cream. So, with that being said, I have here an 8-inch piece of it's almost like tissue, what they call like tissue fabric ribbon. It's really soft. It has like a little funky kind of pattern stripes or whatever in it. So this is going to be the bow. I'm going to make this into a bow. I have a piece of satin ribbon here that I folded in half, and I already put the little corner pieces on there. And this is just going to be for the center of our bow. I'm going to probably fold this in half and then put that in between. I have some pearls here that I'm going to be using, a piece of gold chain, the closure pieces here, and we also have some jump rings. And it's a little mismatched because I haven't gone out and replaced any of my supplies. And I also have some thread here. So what we're going to start doing, and I doubled my thread, and it's just on a basic sewing needle. So we're going to start beading our pearls. That's what we're going to do first. And I am actually going to put a double knot at the end of my thread here so that my pearls don't come off as I'm stringing. And normally I would use an elastic, what do you call it, stringing, whatever, you know what I mean. But for this particular thing, I'm using thread. So just in case you don't know how to string pearls on the needle, I'm just going to show you really quick, and then I'm going to go and finish this, and we'll start to assemble things together. And I'm going to use just my basic bow pattern that I always use for my other piece of jewelry, the bow tie necklace I did. I'm just going to make the bow the same way. It's just going to be made a little bit smaller for her wrist because this is going to be a bracelet. So I normally get a lot more pearls than I need, and actually what I do to measure, because she's not here, I should have done this last night, but I just take, because I know that our wrists are not that far from each other, I just take, and the tightest I can get it on my wrist is normally what her wrist would be. It would to fit a little loosely on her. And actually I can fit some of her little bracelets that she gets from like Claire's and stuff like that. She puts them on me and they actually fit. So basically this is all you do. Just like if you were threading something to sew, you're just going to put the pearls on the needle and let it go down. So I'm going to finish doing this, and then we'll go ahead and make the bow. So now that we have our pearls on our thread here, what I'm going to do is attach the pearls to the chain. And I should have done this first actually, but what I'm going to do is, since I still have my long piece of thread here, I'm going to just move the pearls in the middle for a second, and I'm going to string this thread through, sorry, my dog was barking at something, and just put that through there, if it will go. That's so gross. But anyway, my hands are clean. Okay, so I'm just going to tie a knot, basically, is what I'm going to do for this. And don't worry that your beads are not close to your chain just yet, because we're going, when we do the other side, when we tie the other side to the last chain, the last loop of the chain, we're going to make sure everything is tight and secure where it needs to be. Okay, so I like to double knot things just so that I know it's secure. Anytime that you're making jewelry for kids, you definitely want to make sure things are secure because they play, you know, things. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tie a triple knot, and then I'm going to use a little tiny dab of hot glue just to make sure that the string doesn't come loose. Or you could use this cement, bead cement here that I have. Because it's such a little bottle, I just really don't want to use that. So, okay, now you're not going to cut this part, right? Because your chain, your pearls are going to have to stay attached. So don't cut both ends when you cut that extra piece of thread off. So now what I'm going to do is put it on the end of the thread, and then like right in the middle where I made the knot, just so we know it's a little secure. And I'm going to let this set for a second. Let's go ahead and attach the thread to the other end. So what I'm going to do is take the needle and just put it through the last link on the chain and get it through there until I'm satisfied with the tightness. So what it's going to look like is like this. So it's going to be separated. It's not going to be, you know, fully connected, unless of course you want it to, and you could just go, if you want to connect the beads to the chain, then while you have it here, you can just take and link through with the needle and not even cut off until you're ready. But I'm not doing that for this. I want it to be a little loose. So I'm gonna go and try to make a knot with this, but I may have to take it off the needle. We'll see. Sometimes my knots don't act right when I do it this way. And of course it didn't, but it's not that bad. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take my needle off. I'm just going to leave a little bit of thread, just a tip, because these are so thin and I've lost so many of these things. Just leave a little piece of thread in it so you'll be able to find it when you're looking for it. I have so many packs of those things because I set them down somewhere and then I can't find them, and I'm like, where'd my needle go? But they're so much easier to use than a regular needle because they're flexible. So when you're beading things together on a regular needle, you will notice that it just doesn't go through and bend. Of course it doesn't bend, so you have a little bit more difficulty with it, but with this, it bends, it twists, so it's a lot easier for me, that is, you know, maybe different for you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to snip it off right above the knot. We'll put a little bit of glue on the end of it so that doesn't come loose, and then I'm going to put the glue on the knot as well so it doesn't come loose. And just kind of do that. So now what we have here is this. This is what it looks like. Okay, so I'm just going to set that aside for now and start working on our bow. So just in case you haven't seen my bow tutorial, what I'm going to do for this, I'm going to fold it. Actually, let's fold it in half so we know where the middle is. And of course I can't see it, so let me, and my hands are so dry, I forgot to put lotion on them, so I'm working with dry hands here. Okay, so I'm going to put a little dab of glue there just to secure that down. Not much, but just enough to hold that. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. Okay. So this is what we have right now. So what you're going to do is take it and excuse my nails because they look like crap right now, but you're gonna fold in like this and then tuck back. And you can keep doing it until you get it to how you like it to look. A lot of times I'm doing this over and over and over again. So we're going to use a little twisty tie trick here so it's not so stiff with the hot glue. Oops. And I normally have these taken apart already, but this time I don't. So we're going to just set that in the middle there and then tie that close. And like I said before, you can use tie wraps, or you can use these little you can use zip ties. I do have some zip ties, but unfortunately they're black, so I don't want to use it for this, just in case it shows through. And I'm gonna have to do this bow over because it's coming apart. So what I do is just take that off from the glue, and because I didn't put a ton of hot glue on it, it didn't rip that much. So it's okay to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna put that over. Now that should be better. So again, I'm gonna do this again. Fold in and tuck back. That's better. Looks a lot better now. So get our twist tie here and tie that in the center. And before you secure it too much, make sure you have it where you want it. Or just a little bit more for me. And sometimes it moves when you're securing it in the back, so just play around with it a little bit. And I like to flatten mine just so it doesn't look so crazy. So I started folding the centerpiece, but I just wanted to show you what I did. I did kind of like a double fold. I didn't secure this part because I wanted to show you. So you would take your little square piece that you have and just kind of fold it in the center, and then I overlapped mine. So I'm going to put some hot glue on there so that we can go ahead and put this in the center of our bow. This is another easy piece. It doesn't take a lot of time. If you want a quick piece of jewelry, you can make this for yourself, make it for your daughter, whoever you like. And I'm gonna put some glue right on the top of our little twisty tie here so that we can secure our centerpiece down. So I like that my centerpiece still has a little puff to it. It's not so flat. I hate it when I do these and they become so flat. So I'm going to clip one end off here. And while I'm still holding it, I'm going to put some hot glue on it. And the great thing about this is that I could just put it right on top of our twisty tie. And if you need to put some more glue to hold the top piece down, you just put the glue there. Be careful when you're doing this like me with your fingers because of course it's hot glue. So I'm just going to measure to where I want to snip the other piece off. Okay, so then we're going to put the glue. This time I'm going to put the glue right here first, and then sit it there. And we have some little strands that want to stay on. Okay, so now we have the bow part done. And probably what I should have done is before I secured the beads to the chain was put the chain through here, but it's no big deal because I can get it all together. So now that we have each piece done, and we'll tongue tie it today, we're going to start putting stuff together. So this is where our tools come in. Okay, okay? Because you're gonna need them to open your jump rings. So I know you're wondering, like, where are you gonna put the bow? I'm gonna set it on top once I'm done. Probably set it on top of one of the pearls. So it's gonna be a very delicate piece, and this, since I'm helping out at the on picture day, this will I can just take it right off of her when she's done taking her pictures. So I'm using, like, I guess this will be like needle nose little plier things here, and I'm using the curved ones. It just works easier for me just to open that jump ring. So what I'm going to do is put one in through the chain and then attach the piece that I have for the ribbon. Now I'm just going to go and close it. So when I close these, I like to use the curved ones, just so I can close it, and then I go and do like that and make sure it is secure. And this is where our cement will come into play, because I'm going to put a little bit of it right in the center here of our jump ring. And if you don't know what this is, it's used to secure beads when you're stringing or you know, attaching them to something. So the tip of it looks like this, like a really thin needle, and the glue comes right out of the center hole of it. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of it across so the jump ring does not come loose. Oh, no. We missed a very important step, and that is attaching our latch pieces, and hope it didn't. Okay, great. It didn't already set. So I have the little closure piece, and I'm using the one end and sticking it through like this, and I'm going to keep it interlocked together right now because I have a tendency to lose these as well. So now that we have everything in place, now we can go ahead and close it. I would have been so upset had I not got that on there. I just so happened to look down and realize that, hey, you didn't put your closure piece on. Okay. Now we're good. I'm a little goofy when I do things, so please don't judge me. I tell you that all the time. Don't judge me. I am who I am. Oh, jeez. Jeez, my jeez. So we're just going to do the same thing with the other side and add our jump ring to the other side. And now you can see that everything is attached to the one side. And I'm just going to do the same thing, like I said, with the other side. So we're going to take our jump ring and open it just like we did before. And this time, I'm not going to forget to attach it to the other side of the closure. So I'm going to put it through the chain first, just like I did on the other side. Then we put it through our ribbon piece and the other end of our closure. And let's see how I want this to kind of set. And my ribbon is just a tad bit bigger than I want it to be, but that's okay. So let's close our jump ring. Uh-oh, it's overlapping, so you want to make sure that you get everything the way you want it before you start securing it with the hot glue or cement glue or jewelry glue, because once the glue starts to set, then it's even harder to get this stuff done. And I've wasted tons of pieces of jewelry that I've made just because I secure it and then realize that it doesn't look the way I want it to look. So now that we have our glue on there, I'm going to go ahead and hurry up and put this top on because this glue likes to come out of this hole pretty fast. So let's see, it's in there. Alright. So we are almost done. All we have to do now is add our bow. So I'm going to look at mine and actually see where I want to put my bow. And I'm thinking, just because the ribbon is slightly bigger than everything else, I may just put it on top of the ribbon instead of the chain. What do you think? Yeah. So actually I can do, what I actually wanted this to do was kind of sit inside of that, but it's okay. So I think I'm just gonna kind of do that and attach it to the ribbon part. And what I may do here is I'm thinking I'm going to actually adjust my ribbon. So I'm gonna adjust the ribbon and then we'll go ahead and attach it because it's kind of twisted. So I'm just, since I have this already attached, I'm just gonna open this back up and cut my ribbon just a little bit and attach it back in there, and then I'll show you where I'm gonna put my bow. So we're down to our last step, and that's attaching the bow. And like I said, it's, even though I cut it, it's still a little bit longer than the pearls and the chain. So I'm just gonna go ahead and attach the bow to the ribbon. And I put the hot glue. I'm just going to spread the ribbon out and try to get it in the middle as best I can. And to make sure that it is really secure, I'm going to go ahead and do the pull test, where I try to pull it off and see if it comes off. And if it doesn't, then it's secure. Now if you want, instead of hot gluing it, you can sew it on, and that'll give you a little bit more security. I'm not going to do that for this because, like I said, this is basically a one-time wear for her, you know, for picture days. So this is what our cute little, let me pull it, change out a little bit, our cute little bracelet. And again, sorry for my dry hands. So this will be really cute for her Friday for picture day, and she's gonna love it. Like I said, she always loves everything I make for her. If you have any questions about this project, or if it's something that you don't see in my tutorials that you want to see, just ask me. I will let you know if I have other projects that I'm working on, and let you know when I can get to your project. But I will try my best to make your project, answer your questions as fast as I can. If you like my videos, press the little like button and subscribe. I take requests. Like I said, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you do make anything, put your pictures on my Twitter page or on my Facebook page, because I would love to see your projects also. And as always, see you next Tutorial Tuesday.